junction, and therefore from where we are about 300 meters or thereabout, if I'm not wrong, to the place. And remember, there is a bend on my left, because where the barrier, exactly where the incident took place, where we saw the 3 vehicles that were burning, is about 200 meters. Then from there, if you've been to Dusit, there is a bend there, and then you go right there. But I think those are details that we might be trying to guess here and there, apart from now waiting to hear the regular updates that are coming from the Ministry of Interior. Of course, the IG has been doing that. But with here, among the people that are waiting for, that are also keeping vigil here, is immediate former Kakamega Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale, whom we do understand is also waiting for the daughter that was here and remains to be here. So we would want to know from him how exactly it has been, whether he's been able to get any communication from her, or then maybe what else maybe that he could tell us, because he has actually, before we went live, I was just talking to him, and he has said he will remain here until when he gets hold of his daughter. Of course, that is the family tie. They say blood is thicker than water, and the father here says until he gets the daughter is when he'll be able to live here, which means, in essence, we are going to keep vigil with him here until daybreak, if that is how long the operation will be. Mheshimiwa, pole sana, and maybe if you could just tell us so far, what have you heard in as far as your daughter's situation is?
She called me immediately. The first gunshot was fired here, and I was at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. So I drove across. So from that time to now, I'm here. I'm glad that I'm not alone. I am also with other Kenyans who are their families here, like my age mate here, who is a lecturer at the University of Nairobi. He's here. His son is also in there, just like my daughter. I've been joined by my son, who works here in Nairobi. So we are very strong. The reason why I'm taking courage to speak on this television is not because we are looking for airtime. We just want to tell the terrorists that if their intention was to make us feel pain, if their intention was to make us cry, we are not going to cry. We cannot surrender our country to terrorists. I recall when the same thing happened on 9/11 in the United States of America. President Bush, the first thing he ordered was that the Metropole should start operating, because the bomb attack had paralyzed transport in New York. So we are here to stand with the rest of fellow parents to tell terrorists that we are very strong, we are not going to cry. I'm so proud of the police. In fact, the highest command here has personally been updating me and encouraging me, because I handed over the details of my daughter to him. He has called her personally, and she has been calling me and telling me that, Papa, the commander is calling me, telling me they're coming for us. The only painful thing is that she keeps on telling now the shooting is coming closer and closer. That is worrying us. It also doesn't help that her phone has also run out of power, so we hope that all is well.
Maybe if you could tell us her identity, because of course you are the family here and you're with your son as well, and what was her mission here? Had she come for lunch? Does she work here? There's a hostel adjacent. What exactly her name, and maybe what was her mission here?
I'm lucky I have got several daughters. So she's one of my daughters, but she works here. She works here. I cannot tell you which company she works for, because then that would be disclosing the exact location where she's being held for security purposes. We are happy that the building where her officers are located has now been secured. The police has assured us, and I think the IG has communicated with the country. So they are dealing with the building which is adjacent and which is still having the threat of the terrorists because they are in there. Around 30-40 minutes ago, there's been serious exchange of gunshots here because when the police started evacuating some people, the terrorists then threw a grenade from the 7th floor. So shooting ensued, but since then it is quiet. I want to thank the police. They are very professional, so to speak. Yeah, and they have evacuated a lot of people. Honorable Musalia Mudavadi's son was here. He was evacuated around 5. The MP Beatrice Adagala's son was here. He was evacuated at around 6. A lot of people have been lucky to have their loved ones to come out, and this is why we are hopeful. I'm also encouraged that a lot of Kenyan leaders have taken trouble to say pole to me by calling me here, and by extension they have asked me to tell the other parents who are here pole on their behalf. The Deputy President has called me to tell me pole. Honorable Musalia has called me to tell me pole. Wetangula has called me. Senator Murkomen has called. Senator Ephraim Maina of Nyeri has called me. And the last call I've just received is from Honorable Raila Odinga. So people are standing with us, and we are hopeful that the police will overcome the situation so that things can come back to normalcy.
Well, we are actually hoping that all will end well, because the last update, the IG has said that 6 floors out of the 7 have been secured, and they are now remaining with 1 floor, and therefore we just expect maybe all will be well, and maybe your phone continues to ring off the hook. Maybe there are people who are a bit concerned, and they are about they still need that assurance now that you're here. Maybe just an assurance. Perhaps now that you've said her battery has, her phone has run out of power, and maybe they could be worried. Maybe just one more assurance to them that all is well, because you are here and you've been constantly talking to your daughter.
Oh yeah, she's okay. In fact, my wife has gone to her house, and we have also confirmed that her 2 daughters, I've got 2 granddaughters from her. They're also quite happy at the house. We have taken care of them. And the last time I talked to her, I assured her that the police was up to the task, and that she should have no worry that we are out here. Fortunately, where she is, they found some water, and so they are not very thirsty, according to what she told me. I'm also aware that people I know, I've also talked to them. A professor of the University of Nairobi is trapped in there. I can't say his name because the family has not authorized me. Also, an old friend of mine, old schoolmate, who works as a senior officer in one of the government institutions here, is also trapped in there. I've talked to him. They are okay.
Well, I think I'll still be getting back to you, but now that you've introduced another parent, and who also has a child trapped in there, maybe it will only be fair if we also engage him. Maybe if you could just tell us your name and tell us what was the last time you got in touch. Is it your son? Is it your daughter who is in there?
Thank you so much. I'm Mwalimu Jenga, and this is a very tricky moment for us as families affected, but we're thanking God because He's in control. My son is stuck inside. We've been in communication for the last couple of hours, but for the last almost 1 hour we've not been able to communicate because he says the battery has gone off. Allow me to begin by thanking the police, the St. John's ambulance and the others for actually stepping in very fast to secure the affected people. And to the rest of the family members, I want to assure you that there is no cause for alarm. Our son Martin is safe where he is. And I want to thank all those members of the family, my friends, my colleagues all over the country who have been making calls even outside the country. Please rest assured God is in control, and that in a few maybe hours the rescue team will get narrowed down to where our daughters and sons are, and all will be well. A quick one to thank the government, because we have seen a lot of concerted effort because of the way they are concerned. I think the Westgate attack taught us a lesson, and I'm sure this time we have seen a high level of alertness. Otherwise, there's not too much we can do, but just keep on praying. I want to assure you that all is well. Yes.
Well, we have it, Ben and Michelle. Of course, those two fathers who are here, and they are saying, at least assuring their family members that their kin who are in there, they are safe and sound. They were communicating to them up until when their phones ran out of power. Of course, just giving an assurance. And of course, from what we've, some of the information that we've been able to get from Senator Boni Khalwale is that Salim Davadi's son was also here. But lucky for him, for the Mdavadis, the son was able to be rescued around 5. And then the son to Dagala, the woman rep, has also been rescued. But he's been in touch with the daughter. The daughter is safe, and their wing where she says they are in has been cordoned off and secured. Therefore, it is just a matter of time. Of course, Mwalimu Njenga equally are saying the same when he last got in touch with his son before his phone also ran out of power. Remember that it has been a long day, and as they've said, their phones are ringing off the hook. Therefore, it could be the same situation for those who are trapped in there, and therefore you'd understand why maybe with the time those who are in there, their phones, they will not be available. You cannot reach them because everybody who knows who was in there, they are trying to make calls just to find out exactly what is happening. And from what we've just been engaging the two elders is that definitely this being the Black Tuesday, it is going to be a long night, because by the time the operation is completed, given that it's under the cover of darkness, for security reasons, it might not be easier to allow whoever will have been rescued maybe out, and therefore it might be a guess that many will be here until dawn, or maybe even if the operation is completed, it will still remain secured as such. And therefore, what remains now is, of course, all eyes at either Jogo House or Harambe House. That is either from the Inspector General of Police, Joseph Boynet, or the CS Interior, Fred Matiang'i, who will be giving us those updates. That is the only information that we can be able to get from here. Otherwise, the only things that we are able to extract or to get from this particular juncture, this point where we are, some that are managing to get out, because before we went live with Dr. Boni Khalwale, a worker at, I believe, Dusit Hotel was able to come out, and I saw the colleagues running towards him and embracing him, happy that he had come out. He was still in his attire in the kitchen as he was preparing, because it was lunchtime, and therefore it means that there are those that are still coming out. However, just in front of me in the compound where we have the hostel, there is a tent that has been put there where Red Cross and other rescuers actually have put up a tent, I think for information collection or even the counseling sessions that are taking place. So we are not sure whether those ones that are coming to join the crowd are ones that have been released or have been able to make their way out of the complex, or it's those that after they've been given the necessary support, their documentation or their details taken down, now they've been released. That is what we are yet to establish, because it is under the cover of darkness and the movement is a bit minimal, unlike daytime where you are able to see far and wide exactly what is happening. Therefore, it is also becoming a bit tricky just to get some more information as and when it is, as and when the details continue to emerge. Right now, maybe our only source of information will, and just as has been, will remain the Ministry of Interior, and the National Police headquarters as we speak. Over to you, Michelle and Ben.
Duncan, you have stories there of strength and hope as a group of Kenyans, parents, etc., waiting for information on their loved ones who are still holed up inside the building. You've mentioned you're a bit far from ground zero, and I don't know how much you can see, but is there any way of finding out if these parents, the likes of former Senator Boni Khalwale,